Here we are anyway. It is time for Coffee Talk. I am first morning meteorologist Eric Burris. It is a cloudy-ish start to the day, but as promised, there's actually little hints of the sunshine. There is better weather right around the corner, I am excited to say. So, good morning to you. Thank you for hanging with us. We are going to chat all about not only today's weather and tomorrow's weather, but there's and of course we're going to make sure Stella knows that I'm talking to her the whole time. But there's a huge change in the world of weather. Hi, Stella. Yes, I am still here with you. There is a big change. If it's not the darn kids bothering me, what I'm trying to do, Coffee Talk, it's the dog. There is a big change of weather right around the corner, and we've got full coverage, okay? So first and foremost, let's just start off with our shot this morning. Good morning to you. There's a kind of hazy, grayish start from our Tower Cam network. I could tell you I am sitting in my office now. The sun is starting to peek up through the clouds. So there's a hint of sunshine. There's a hint of sunshine. And it's a bit of a difference. So I'll take it. Frankie, Nancy, good morning to you. How are you, Nancy? Naomi, good morning. Carolyn, good morning to you. David, good morning. All right, let's talk temperatures across Central Florida, shall we? We are sitting at 61 degrees in Orlando, 57 degrees in Leesburg. We're at 56 in the Villages, 54 degrees in Ocala. So it is a nice start. Frank says you're in my room. Yeah, tonight this will be your, yes, this is where Frank will be staying tonight. Yes, it's your room and it's all ready for you. John, good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. Let's take a look at our first morning Doppler radar. It has been active once again. The good news is that it's not been anything like what we've seen these last couple of days. Let me bring that full screen for you. The metro is nice and quiet. There are some showers up here around Volusia County that are kind of trying to threaten us just a little bit. The good news is if you're not around New Smyrna Beach, you've been pretty dry up here around Port Orange, Daytona Beach Shores, South Daytona. That's where we've kind of been watching these showers coming on through. Real light stuff, not too bad. But if we look ahead to our 12-hour forecast, this is where you're going to get the idea that, yes, while it may not be as cloudy, it may not be as showery, and of course the sun's actually peeking through. Look at that. There are showers in the forecast through the day. It is not going to be a perfect day, unfortunately. But it's also not going to be that completely overcast sky that we've seen these last couple of days either. Carolyn says it's downright balmy outside. Well, compared to these last couple of days, just compared to yesterday temperature-wise, for example, we're running about 5, 6, 7 degrees warmer this morning than we've been. So, yeah, I mean, to some extent, it is pretty balmy. But yeah, Dana, will we see sunshine today? I'm looking at it right now. It's like, hello, my old friend. I'm glad to see you again. I know that's not how the song goes, but you get the idea. All right, so it is a really nice setup for us this morning. Through the day today, yes, it will be cloudy. There will be showers. Temperatures are going to be climbing into the 60s and 70s. Just kind of depends on where you are. So let's do this. Let's break down the forecast across town. Let's start off with a wide shot and get you through the day ahead, right? So here we are, 70 degrees, our high temperature in Orlando today, 66 in Leesburg, 68 degrees in Claremont, about 66 degrees back over to Ocala. So it's really not a bad setup. Average high is 72, so we're in that ballpark. It is going to be a breezy day. Now, there is a launch scheduled from the Space Coast. It's an iffy forecast. All right, booster recovery weather, not looking the best. Probabilities at about 60%. I don't know if I'm going to go out to this one. First off, it's 6:11 p.m. I'm not going to go to this one. It interferes with my family time, so I'm not going to go nerd out to this one. But we'll have coverage on. I can tell you that I'll be tweeting and Facebooking and all that stuff. So we will have coverage, and of course the weather team's going to have coverage. But I'm just saying, like for me personally, I'm not going to go out to the Cape and do a 20-minute Facebook Live like I did for the last one. Yeah. If it was like another 2 o'clock launch, I'd be there. You know, like last week, 2 o'clock launch, I was there. Oh, well. Taking the kids to school, overslept this morning. Becca, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up. You're human. We're all human. It's all good. Diana, good morning to you. Michelle, good morning to you. So, little by little, our weather picture is improving, okay? What's the overall setup? Well, here we go. So a nice and comfy air mass in place. That storm system that has brought us all of that unrelenting moisture that is gradually pulling away, okay? Then, as it moves away, we start to kind of watch it move back toward us. It's a very interesting weather setup. I'm going to have to close this shade. You see that in my face? That's the sun shining. That's the sun shining. Give me 2 seconds. Let me make sure I'm not going to run the dog over. Give me 2 seconds. Let me close these blinds. Hold on. Nobody ever said Coffee Talk was a professional organization. I can stand up and do that. It's more like a video podcast, right? All right, so that's closed. So at least now we don't have the sun blasting in my face. But if we go back, let's just go back and just review. So there's the storm system that's kind of been in our area. It starts to pull away and then starts coming kind of toward the Carolinas, keeping us with showers around today and tomorrow, the next couple of days. But that cold front there, oh man, is that cold front going to blast us? Seriously, I mean, like a blast of cold air. Saturday, cold. Sunday, colder? Seriously? Yeah, I mean, we are talking about some very cold air moving in. So let's do this. Let's review things on the 7-day forecast. We usually don't jump right to the 7-day, but I want to let this set the stage, okay? So the first thing you're going to notice is that the day Sunday highlighted in red, okay? What's going on there? Brian says, just glad you have your pants on. Oh, yeah. The daycare people, I'm sure, feel the exact same way. Okay, so Sunday, red. That is what we refer to as a first warning weather day. Huh? We don't do it very often. We post a first warning weather day when the weather is just going to be downright bad. We reserve it for hurricanes or for tornado outbreaks or for, in this case, just the coldest air we've seen in years. Things that are truthfully going to impact you. This is, and frankly, we may even upgrade Saturday to a first warning weather day, because when you start to look at, and we'll get into all of the data, but when you start looking at the wind chills, I mean, we are talking about a major deal. So first warning weather day, we don't do it very often, but the idea is it's going to impact your family. Usually it's strong to severe weather in terms of thunderstorms or tornadoes or hurricane, but in this case, it's strong to severe weather in terms of cold. Seriously, okay? And the whole idea here is we want to make sure you know that there are dangerous impacts, and we want to make sure that you know that you're going to need to be dialed into critical information. Mary Lee's asking, so what do we need to do around the house? Great question. So the easiest way to look at this is that this is going to be a hard freeze for many locations, okay? Let's just come through time here. All right. Many locations are talking about that dark purple. I don't know why this keeps changing to the fonting. I think it's because it's a different version. I'll have to fix that. Hold on, let me fix that. Stand by. The whole sausage is made thing. That hard freeze, let me just change that to white. Oh, you show up so much better. Let me just text Kellyanne because she's going to be like, what? Because it lets her know that it changed. Just changed the banner color on the frost freeze graphic. That's why you have the refresh icon. hard freeze now shows up better. Okay, sorry. Okay, so because we have a hard freeze expected in our northwestern areas and potential in our metro area, that's where you do have to take some precautions around the house. So what does a hard freeze mean? Okay, so we talk about this quite a bit, but a hard freeze. More than likely, we will see hard freeze warnings posted. That means that temperatures are going to drop to or below 27 degrees. That means protect your pets, your pipes, and your plants, okay? So let's talk about this for a moment. First off, up north, the joke is like, oh, the bread and the milk are gone from the store shelves. You know, we're in a different world here, so just remember that. But what this means, let's start with pets, okay? Pets. Bring them inside. Outdoor cats. Find, but they're an outdoor cat. Put them in the garage then. You want to give them the opportunity to not freeze their tuchuses off. Horses, obviously, the blankets. Make sure that they're in an area that can keep them warm. In the barn, if you have heat, turn on the heat. Make sure that they've got blankets on them, that sort of thing. But pets, they depend on us. Stella, you'll be warm, okay, baby? Stella? I just want her to know. Okay, pipes. Especially if you live north and west of town, a little bit of a drip on the pipes. Just a little drip. Okay? Just a little drip. Just a little drip. If you've got a pool, run the pump overnight. Just to keep the water moving. Things like that, okay? And then plants. A lot of people ask, I have sensitive plants. Should I cover the plants? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Cover the plants or bring the sensitive plants. Better yet, bring the sensitive plants in if you can. Kathy says, oh my God, man up, you guys. One day of cold, get real. But, sure, one day of cold, and everybody else can make fun of us. But here's the thing. Put a hurricane into the northeastern United States, and they're freaking out. Meanwhile, here in Florida, we're like, it's just a hurricane. We do it all the time. It's perspective, right? Like, you've got to remember, weather perspective hits every geographic area differently. So yes, while people from up north can make fun of us, I don't care. We don't get this all that often. And so, it's just cold, guys. Okay, it's just cold. Great. Well, there are things that we need to remember because it doesn't happen that often. As a matter of fact, we're forecasting a freezing temperature in Orlando. Okay? As soon as I find the graphic, I will bring it to you. We're forecasting a freezing temperature in Orlando. It's been 4 years since that's happened. Okay, it's cute for everybody to make fun of us, but it's been 4 years. So we need to remember that. So for example, my house, I've never owned, I moved into my house after that freeze. It has never gotten down to freezing in my house, which means I have never been a pool owner with a freeze. What if I didn't know to run the pump, that sort of thing, just to make sure, look, it may not freeze, but don't you want to know these preventative things so that you're not the guy screaming in an email to me saying, you didn't tell me about it, right? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear you saying, but you didn't tell me about it. It's my job to tell you about it. So yeah, make fun of us Floridians for being sensitive to the cold, but God, we barely get this cold, so let it be, right? Chris says our places and lives are not constructed for this kind of cold. It's true. So yeah, it's cold. I know everybody up north deals with the cold. That's why we live in Florida. We don't, but it's not that bad. Maybe for you in Portland, Maine, buckaroo, but for us in Orlando, Florida, this is cold as gall get out, right? Good gravy. I do laugh when people say that because we make fun of them, they make fun of us. But Sonia, did you get a jacket? No, that's on my list today. Today and tomorrow I'm off of work, so that's on my list. Yeah. Betty says, a few plants can come in, but mostly I will be using blankets held down with large stones. It's going to be very windy. I group plants so one cover does many. Good luck, everyone. I do not cut leaves off of frozen, leave them on until the 1st of March. Plants might recover. It's true, yeah. All right, so let's talk about, we just kind of briefly talked about it. But there you go. So this is our kind of overall idea. Know where you live as well. You know, that's a big thing. Where you live. We're thinking a hard freeze will be north and west of town. That's the temperatures in the kind of 27-degree range or lower. Through the metro area, we're expecting temperatures to be into the freezing range. And frankly, most of town will be in the freezing range. Where will we not get to freezing? Well, obviously, it's showing Lake Apopka. It's showing East Lake Toho. It's showing the Barrier Islands. And then, of course, on the west coast, it's going to be showing areas right around the bay and right around the Gulf. Okay? Your guy screaming impersonation sounds like your Tony impersonation. They're not that different. You ever hear Tony? These Italians, bada bing, bada boom. Ask anybody that's ever worked with Manolfi. He'll confirm it, or they'll confirm it. Tracy, my Canadian family laughs at me when I say it's cold here. They respond that their eyelids freeze when they go outside. And I get that, right? I get that. Lisa says, hey, I was born and raised up north, but now in Florida, and I still want my updates on the cold weather. It's true. It's true. I laugh when people come here from the north saying it's not cold, and then after being here a day or so, running to buy cold weather clothes because they only pack shorts. We are wet cold here, so it feels such colder than dry northern cold. Amy for the win. Amy for the win. Stephanie, good morning. Sorry I'm late to the party. Was thinking of taking my son to the Central Florida Zoo this morning. How's the weather looking? By the way, check Burlington or Ross for a great coat. Yeah, that's on my list today for sure. Stephanie, I mean, I think this morning's good. Maybe a sprinkle or two, but you're looking okay. So yeah, I think you're good. What do you mean drip water from each sink? No, Janet, the idea would be to just leave one open just to kind of keep the water very, very, very sluggishly moving. Because the problem is, it could freeze, especially if you live north of town. It could freeze if it's not moving. So, for what it's worth. Do I take stars? No. I don't even know why that got turned on. I guess Facebook just turned it on to everybody. But no, I don't cash in stars. I have no desire. I am not here to make money off of you guys and gals. Now, if Wesh ever fires me, we're going to take some stars. I got to put food on the table. But no. As long as I'm gainfully employed, I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the opportunity to talk to you guys and gals. All right, so let's talk feels like temperatures, people. Seriously. Let's just park it right about here. Feels like temperatures. Now, this is including the wind chill, but feels like temperatures are going to be running into the 20s for the entire area. So in addition to the cold, we're going to be talking about winds, wind chills. This is going to be a big, we don't, and again, going back to the 7-day forecast, we don't do this lightly. You will rarely see that color red on a day. But if it's there, it's going to be there for a reason, right? So Sunday is a first warning weather day. Ryan, if Wesh fires you, will be the last time I watch them. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I hope they don't. I don't think they will. But, that's the only condition that I take stars. That's all I'm saying. Lois says, my pipes froze one year. Not fun. Will be dripping water for sure. I'm in North Lake County. Yeah. And just so that you know, and I see Carolyn saying, just open the cabinet doors under your sinks. Let me tell you a little bit about our WESH 2 coverage plan for today. Stories that, stand by. Stories that WESH is working on today. Okay? Kelsey is working on a plants story. Amanda Dukes on theme park story. All of this cold, by the way. Marley Martinez talking to a veterinarian about keeping pets safe. Megan Mulatto talking pools in cold. Dave McDaniel heading over to the zoo. And Gail Pascal Brown, the unbelievably talented Gail Pascal Brown. Dripping pipes, opening cabinets, checking the heat unit. What do you need to do? All of these reporters are working on keeping you up to date. And yes, but it's not going to be that cold. Floridians, haha. Shut up. We don't get it that often. So we need to make sure we're good to go. So we've got reporters doing different angles of this cold story because it's going to be the coldest we have seen in years. I know it sounds silly and everybody likes to make fun. It's been 1,470 days since Orlando got freezing. And it's not just Orlando. Now, Melbourne, it's not been as long. For you, it was February of 2021. But look at some of these other locations. Leesburg, 2018 was your last freeze, 1,470 days. Daytona Beach, 1,469 days. Sanford, 1,470 days. Do I need to keep going, right? Like, it's been a minute. Ocala, yeah, you've gotten down to freezing. But the rest of us, it's been a minute. So just before people make fun of us, and they can make fun of us, but like, this is important information, you know? Like, what am I doing today? I'm going to be checking I'm going to change the filter on my air conditioner just to make sure, just to make sure. I'm going to go around my house. I'm just going to kind of take note of what I need to do. And then, yes, my plan is on Saturday night, I am going to turn off the timer on my pool, and I'm going to keep it running on low, but I'm going to keep it running all night just to keep the water moving, you know? Jenny says, I love that Wesh is giving up tons of info in different categories. That's, top left corner of the screen says first warning weather. We call ourselves that for a reason. We take this responsibility. I take this responsibility very seriously. I don't want stars because I'm honored that you welcome me into your life every morning. Manolfi doesn't take stars because he's honored. I mean, I'm speaking for him, but I know the guy well enough. I know the guy for almost half my life. Good God. So, for what it's worth, we are honored that you let us into your life and that you trust us. And we're going to always work hard to earn that trust. Okay? On Sunday, how quickly does it warm up? It'll warm up, but not terribly quick. Let's look at some computer model solutions. I made these graphics yesterday, okay? Let's start in Ocala, okay? So what you're looking at here is in pink, the European model, in yellow, the American GFS model, and then in green, we've also put in the National Weather Service forecast, okay? So the reason that I did this is because I wanted to show off the idea of where the models are kind of going. And certainly you can see, obviously, bottoms out around 25, 26 degrees on the Weather Service forecast. It's around 27 for the European. The GFS is going like 31. I think the GFS is a little warm, if I'm honest with you. I mean, everything's kind of pointing into the 20s there. So I think that, that's where we're running for Ocala. Let's look at Orlando. That's our next site. Obviously, it's going to be a little warmer. GFS is going a little warmer at like 35, 36. The European is going at about 31, 32. And that's where the Hurricane Center, that's where the National Weather Service is calling for in their forecast. All right, Daytona Beach. GFS is going like 38, 39. The European is going like 33, 32, and that's where the Weather Service is forecasting. Leesburg, and I'm just picking some of these cities. I'll show you the forecast that we're going with here in a couple of minutes' time. Leesburg, you kind of see right around freezing. The GFS is a little above freezing. I think the GFS has a little bit of a warm bias, if I'm honest. Melbourne, you're going to be a little warmer, certainly, but you can see even on the warm side, the GFS has you at about 38, 39, whereas the forecast and the European model has you at like 34, 35. Titusville, I know I'm going through a bunch of places. That's okay. Titusville, much closer together. Everybody's figuring you to be about mid-30s. So yeah, even if you live, the point being here is that even if you live along the Space Coast, it's not like you're going to be all that warm. Lower to mid-30s for you in Palm Coast. Yeah, I mean it's going to be a blustery cold forecast. So Sunday morning, here's your temperatures. This is what we're going with for a forecast. 31 in Orlando, first freeze in 4 years. 29 in Leesburg, 26 degrees in the Villages, 24 degrees in Ocala, 30 in Daytona Beach, and 31 degrees in Titusville. Is it Gasparilla this weekend? Are you kidding me, Sandy? Oh, I didn't even know that. Stacy, you do a great job. Thank you. Appreciate it. Wow, that's rough. This weekend is the Rolex 24. Yeah. So here's the overall picture. 45 degrees at 1:40 p.m. Say that again, would you? Yeah, 40, and that's not even counting the wind chill. Midnight, 35 with wind chills in the 20s. And then we'll finish the race on Sunday afternoon at 50 degrees. If we just break out the overnight temperatures, okay, there's obviously the Rolex 24 readings. You can see where we've declared those hours, 2 through about 8 a.m. Those are the hours, the time frame, where we're talking about things being, yes, I'm looking at you, Sonia. Those are the time frames, though, that we're talking about the dangerous cold. All right. Tim says planning to turn up the furnace and stay indoors. You have a furnace? Really? My plan is to run the central heat. I'm sure that thing's going to be running all night. I feel like it's been running all night anyway. Yeah. So that's where we're at, my friends. That's where we're at. This is just kind of going over the idea, right? To allow the faucets to drip, take care of the pets. The 3 Ps, plants, pipes, and pets. I prefer it to be pets, pets, plants, and pipes. I want to put pets first because they depend on us, right, Stell? We're gonna keep you warm all night, right, baby? Can you come up? Hey, baby. My sweet girl. You my good girl? I know you can't see her. She's right here. Jenny says, going to watch movies, cook, and do some cleaning. Won't catch me outside. It's funny. I would have loved to go out to one of the theme parks, but there's just... If it was like me, if it was just adults, if it was Jeannie and I, that'd be fine. But I'm not going to take the kids out in this cold. It's just dangerous. It's just too much. Yeah. So weekend forecast. These are the highs. We've talked a lot about the lows, but these are the highs. Saturday, high of 50. Sunday is the coldest morning, and then by Sunday afternoon, we'll get to about 55. Yeah. Let's talk about records. We've talked a lot about just the idea of it being a freeze. Let's just talk about records now, okay? I know I made the graphic. Let's start off with Saturday afternoon. Record low highs. Oh, we never did it. Well, I don't know that we'll get there. The record low, I apologize. But these are the record low highs for Saturday. 54, Orlando record low high was 40 set back on 1897 for Saturday. What are we forecasting? We're not forecasting 40, I know that. So we'll have to fill that graphic out. We'll get that done. Don't you worry. Record lows, though. Let's talk about record lows. Okay, Sunday morning. Here's your forecast. Here's your record lows. I think we're going to at least tie that record in Orlando set back in 1966. Sanford, I think you'll be close. Notice, by the way, that 66 winter looks like it was a doozy. I think Orlando is going to be the only one to get into that vicinity. Keep in mind, by the way, that Ocala does not keep official records, but let me look that up while we're talking. If Ocala had a record, stand by. It's Sunday morning. That's the 30th. I'm trying to find the correct data. Give me 2 seconds. I'm almost there. 2018. No. Is it you? You're the one. Okay. All right. So Ocala data. The record low on this date, if they kept records, would be 21 degrees in 1978. So no, we would not get to a record if there even was. But the record low that we've got on data, they don't keep official records. An unofficial record would be 21, so it would not be a record there. So for what it's worth, they don't keep records officially, but we still have that data there. So what do you need to know for this weekend, right? Like, here's how you plan. Saturday is going to be gross, dangerously cold. Temperatures are in the 40s and 50s, but even through the day, those wind chills will be in the 20s and 30s. Saturday overnight, that's the weather of concern. That's why we've declared it a first warning weather day. And then through Sunday, the wind chills are going to continue to stay cold. Actual highs, 40s and 50s. Wind chill data will still be in the 30s and 40s for most of the day. All right? So that's where we're at, my friends. Level with you. It's going to be just cold. I said it yesterday. It's going to be disgusting cold. All right, 7-day forecast. There you go. Brian says, Eric, I have another tip for people to keep their houses warm if you will share with everyone else. Cover your windows with either towels or blankets and seal the space between the blankets and the windows with duct tape. The doors leading out with blanket or towel at the bottom of the door to keep the money draft out. That's a good point. Yeah. All right, so a couple of showers today, tomorrow. It gets dangerously cold this weekend. First warning weather day for Sunday morning. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, thank God, we'll be back up into the upper range of the 70s. Thank God. Any questions, comments, concerns before we wrap this puppy up? That is just a mess. Stacy, Tennessee going to get some snow Friday and get down to 17 the next week. Yeah, and then get up in the 58 weather. You know, and that's what's so interesting is other parts of the country get just much colder, but, you know, we're not used to it. Pat, how's Dad? So yesterday I had the opportunity to watch him do some physical therapy. He's incredibly weak. Spoke with the physical therapy nurse, and he was a great guy. And he basically said, because your dad was out of it for so long, his muscles have gotten into atrophy. And so as such, you know, it's going to be a process to get it back going. So, you know, we have to do it. He said, you know, your dad's just incredibly weak. So it'll probably take a couple of days to get that back going. Dad was struggling yesterday. You know, they were working him out, moving his arms and moving his arms this way and all this. And you could see it was taxing him, and it dropped his oxygen saturation because he was working his tuchus off. But he did what he needed to do. So I can't, you know, he was exhausted and he kind of fell asleep afterward. But yeah, so little by little, he's doing his thing. Little by little, he's doing his thing. So thank you so much for always asking. I appreciate it. I'm grateful. And I've told Dad that he's my little Christmas miracle, you know? So anyway, Melbourne freeze, Terry's asking. The answer is yes. There you go, Melbourne. 32 degrees is what we're looking at on Sunday morning. Yeah. All right. What time can we expect sonic booms today? I do not believe that there will be sonic booms because they are launching this rocket and landing it at sea. They are not landing it. Back on land. But there's only a 60% chance of launch, so I'm not terribly optimistic with this one. All right. All right, remember we've got our afternoon coffee talk coming up at 3:30 today. As long as I can get that right at 3:30. So we'll do that. In the meantime, be the sunshine in someone else's day. I will be doing the afternoon coffee talk from right here, which is super cool too, because I'm off. Yeah. All right. All right. Listen, be the sunshine on someone else's day. Hold on. Angela says we'll see if the weather cooperates for the 5th launch of 2022 this evening. Is it? Is today return? I didn't think that today's booster was returning to land, Angela. Maybe it is. I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out. I'll learn. I'll figure it out, Angela. I didn't know that it was coming back to landing zone today. I'll have to ask. All right. Anyway, I'll see you guys at 3:30. We're going to talk more about the chill and all of that fun stuff. All right? Be the sunshine in someone else's day.